students. Today we are going to learn, we are going to have a lesson to learn about reading fluency. We are going to talk about vocabulary, what the point of view of the author is, and we are going to talk about realistic fiction features, like what do we look for when we do all those things. So we're going to have about 3 lessons today. The first one is going to be how to read with fluency. Fluency means that you are going to read a paragraph. It has a number line here, and this more or less will guide me of how many words per minute did you read. If you make any mistake, you correct yourself, and I'm going to be following along with the paper, and the rest of you will also follow along. You are going to read until I said, I'm going to tell you when to start and when to stop. Okay? Reading fluency looks for smoothness, for fluidity, like you go very smooth and pronouncing the word correctly, what they call prosody. So you're not rushing through it, you're not jumping through all the punctuation and all the question marks and exclamation points, so you do it smoothly. It's better to do it correctly than rush through it. Are we ready? So I'm going to give you this so you can follow along in the reading. And I'm also going to follow along with you. Are we ready? Who wants to read? Very good, Joaquin. Can you start reading, please? Oh, give me a minute. Let me put the timer. Do you have a phone that you can put a timer? Please, 1 minute. Of course, my phone is recording back there. Just put it there and start 1 minute. You put it here. When you're ready to start, just press start. And it will be for 1 minute. Can you mark 1 minute? Okay, there you go, 1 minute. You ready? Okay?
How may I help? Excuse me, are you going to drink that extra juice box? Brad turned around to see who was speaking to him. It was Vera. Not again, Brad thought. I guess not. Here you go. Brad handed Vera the second apple juice his mother always packed. She put it in the reusable shopping bag she was carrying. Thank you so much, she said, smiling, then marched to the next table. Brad rotated back to his friend, who sat with him at the lunch table, rolled his eyes, and said, she's so weird, always walking from table to table, asking people for their food. Do you think she eats it all? His friends laughed. They wondered the same thing. Vera had been collecting food since the beginning of school.
Okay, all set. So you stay where it says school. Okay, so now for reading fluency, I am going to calculate how many words you said, then I'm going to deduct the words that you said incorrectly, and then I am going to subtract that, and then I will let you know what is your rate. At what rate are you reading? Is it 20 words per minute? Is it like 30 words per minute? And I will let you know. As we keep practicing this is going to keep getting better and better and better. And the more words you know, the better you will pronounce them, the better you will recognize them, and it will be like sight words, that it will be instantly. Okay? So how do you think you did? Pretty good. I would say so. Pretty good. Any of you found any words that don't understand? Or it's pretty much everyday language, everyday words? Are you comfortable with the words that you saw here? Okay, very good. So I'm going to do the same thing with all of you. Okay? We are going to do the whole class. It's called the reading fluency test to see how many words per minute you read. So right now, I'm going to leave it as it is. We are going to move on to the vocabulary and to the reading comprehension. Today we are going to be looking at point of view, and we are going to also pinpoint what are the realistic fiction features. Okay? So put your paper on the side, We'll continue with the reading fluency test in a little while once we are covered with the rest of the lesson for today. Okay. For today, we have a story that is called Remembering Katrina, the Hurricane Katrina. So we have a picture here of this lesson. The essential question for this lesson is, in what ways can you help your community? Who can tell me a way that you can help your community? Doing community service, for example, we will go to the beach, we'll pick up garbage, we'll put it in the trash can, and we will help to keep the beach clean, right? What else, Megan?
Going to community events and donating to charities.
Donating time, right? You help them. For example, in the Bahamas, we had a hurricane recently, right? So all of us, we collected canned food and we brought it to school to donate for those people because they don't have a place to eat. There's no more restaurants in the Bahamas because the hurricane finished with all of that, right? So we help the community in that way. Any other way that we can help the community? We could recycle, very good, because we are helping to keep the earth clean, correct?
Yes.
Any other way? Dan?
Maybe we can donate leftover food that we didn't eat to charity.
Sure, the people for the, yes, of course. We can donate food that we don't eat to people that don't have food, correct? So, we are going to read about this. In this case, the genre or the type of lesson or story that we are reading is called realistic fiction. The essential question, we just went over that. It's, in what ways can you help your community? Read about how Hector helps others after Hurricane Katrina. So, do you want to read the out loud for everybody?
Leaning over my steering wheel, I watched the heavy clouds roll in. The sky became a darker shade of gray, and raindrops were soon scattered across my windshield. A storm was coming. Glancing at the boxes of clothes stacked in the back seat, I smiled to myself. A torrential downpour of rain began beating against my windshield as lightning flickered across the sky. I pulled the car off the road until my driving visibility improved. People on the sidewalk held purses and briefcases over their heads in a feeble effort to keep from getting wet. Children screamed and danced along in the downpour. The rain reminded me of another storm 10 years earlier. Hurricane Katrina slammed into the Gulf Coast of the United States when I was 9 years old. The ferocious storm caused untold amounts of damage. One of my strongest memories from that time were watching the evening news with my father. A reporter stood inside the Houston Astrodome, surrounded by thousands of people. They all shared the same weary expression. Many wore torn and dirty clothes, and some had no shoes on their feet. They slowly shuffled along, their faces full of sadness. Are they here because of the hurricane? I asked softly. Aunt Lucia nodded. See, Hector, these people are from New Orleans, Louisiana. Just a few days ago, Hurricane Katrina destroyed their homes and possessions, and they lost everything they owned. So now they are temporary residents of the Astrodome. It's a place for them to stay until it's safe to go home. I knew a lot about Katrina. The storm had formed in hot and humid tropical weather and then traveled north. It had come so close to Texas that I worried it would strike us in Houston. It missed us, but other cities were not so lucky. The TV news reporter looked around. People tried to speak to her, but she was being selective about who she wanted to interview. I noticed a little boy sitting behind her, oh my God, hugging an old teddy bear. Watching him, I knew I had to do something. The next day, my friends joined me at our volunteer club, the Houston Helpers, and together we devised a plan. We wanted to collect toys and give them to kids at the Astrodome because donating the toys would help bring some happiness into the lives of these families. Anxious to get started, we made lists of what we needed to do. Then every one of us was assigned a specific task. We agreed to spread the word to our school that other organizations. 3 days later, after Herculean effort on our part, the donation bins were overflowing with new toys. I'll never forget the day when we entered the Astrodome with our gifts. Children flew towards us from all directions. Smiles lit up their faces as we pulled toys from our bags. Grateful parents thanked us for our generosity and complimented our leaders on how thoughtful and mature we all were. My cell phone jolted me back, and I noticed that the storm had passed. Hector, see? Yes? Hi. Jeannie? You have the donations? A few more families have arrived. More victims of yesterday's tornado. Yes, I have a couple of donations. The storm delayed me, but I'll get there soon. I gingerly eased my car into the suddenly busy traffic. It felt good to know that I was making a difference again.
Okay, very good. You read excellent. Thank you so much. So this is about Hurricane Katrina, right? As you can see, scatter, we have a few vocabulary words. Resident, selective, assign, organization, generosity, mature, and gingerly. These are the vocabulary words that we are going to be learning about today. So usually when you read a story around this grade level, it highlights it for you. So those are your content vocabulary words. Those are maybe words that you may not know, or maybe you do. So it looks like Hurricane Katrina, we already know for a fact that it went into New Orleans, that everything got flooded. A lot of people lost their homes and everything that they owned. So they went to the Astrodome. What is a dome? What is an Astrodome? It's like a huge stadium, like the ones in the Marlins here. Instead of being sitting down, how we watch the game, they were having cots and mattresses there for people to sleep. And people from the city were donating water, food, and that's what they did for the community. So as we revisit the essential question, in what ways can you help your community, that's how the government was helping them. So I am going to give you the vocabulary words where you can search the meaning of it. What strategies can we use when we are looking for vocabulary meaning, when we are reading a story? We are looking for context clues. What does that mean, context clues? It means that when we read around the word that has been highlighted, we keep reading either towards the front or in the back of that word, and we will find the meaning of that word. In this case, since we all like technology, you could use your phones to find the meaning. If you already know the meaning, you can go ahead and write it. And also, if you have any questions, for example, the word organization. Who can give me an example? Who can give me a sentence using the word organization? Very good. There are many charity organizations that do many things. For example, In New Orleans, when those people lost their homes, they were organizations that brought them water. They were, for example, hotels will donate food. That hotel is an organization. If you need clothing, if you need medicine, the hospital will come in. The hospital is an organization. They will come in and help out with whatever they can. People are sick, giving them medication, or give them anything that they may need. Who can give me a sentence, an example with resident? The word residence. Sure, okay.
I am the resident of a house in a neighborhood.
Very good. That's awesome. That's true. You are a resident of a house in our neighborhood. Assign. Who can give me an example sentence of the word assign? Go ahead, Jenny. A teacher assigned the homework for us. That's very good. Now, there's a word here that catches my attention. It's called gingerly. Who knows what that means, gingerly? Who can tell me? Carefully. Yes. What else? What other words can we kind of make it similar? So, gingerly, like she said, is careful. Who can give me a sentence with the word gingerly? Go ahead.
He jumped over the puddle gingerly.
Gingerly. Very good. I love that. He jumped the puddle over the puddle gingerly, meaning that he jumped over the puddle carefully, right? So let's see. Generosity. Daniel, can you tell me a sentence with generosity?
Thanks to the generosity of the two volunteer organizations, people in the Bahamas were able to get lots of food.
Awesome. I love that. Very good. So we already know what those words mean, right? So this is going to be your homework, page 111. You're going to bring it back tomorrow. That's some exercising on how to practice those words. Now, moving along for the other part, the third part of our lesson, which is reading comprehension. We are going to use two different strategies. One of the strategies is to visualize. And the other strategy is finding key details for us to find out or figure out the author's or narrator's point of view. So, who can tell me or who knows what visualization or visualize a situation is? Daniel?
Is to take some words and imagine it how it would be like in that situation.
Awesome, very good.
Like how maybe like there was a massive storm, they could picture like gray clouds and probably you in a house in the corner.
Like when you look at this picture here, it will give you pretty much an idea of what is happening there. From where is he looking at the storm?
He's looking through his car.
Through the glass of his car, right? The windshield of his car. So he sees that people are running with briefcases, umbrella, they're getting wet, they're running all over the place. So this is how you find it, correct? Pictures give you a clue of how they are going to tell you what the point of view is. So visualization is what?
Visualization is when you imagine a piece of information in a text, like what Daniel said, that when there's a massive storm, you can imagine there.
Yes, it's like having a mental picture, right? And as we read, and the narrator will give us a lot of details about what's going on in the situation, we can start to put in an image in our minds, right? Very good. So in this case, it says when you read fiction, picture the events, characters, and setting in your mind to help you better understand the story. As you read, remembering Hurricane Katrina, visualize what happens in the story. So we find text evidence, right? More or less like the description of what was happening in that moment, like you just read, correct? And with those details, it's gonna help us find out what is the point of view of the narrator. So now, we are going to move on and find some details about how can we figure out the point of view of this author. So we are going to read or reread the lesson to visualize and find out the point of view. For example, we find text evidence, right? We always have to go back and reread and find evidence. That's how we find the narrator's point of view or the author's point of view. It says over here, point of view. The narrator's point of view tells how the narrator thinks or feels about characters or events in the story. When the narrator uses the pronouns I, me, or mine, the story is told in, who knows? Yes.
This point of view.
It's point of view, but when he uses I, me, mine, it is first person point of view. Awesome. And when they use you, they, it is what? Third person point of view. Awesome. I love this. So we go to finding text evidence. When I reread page 151 of Remembering Hurricane Katrina, I see that the narrator uses the pronoun I, me, and mine. That tells me the story is told by the first person point of view, which is Hector in this case, right? He was the one driving the car and seeing all the action, everything that was happening. I can find clues in the text about the narrator's point of view. So, the other part that we need to also, because this one is a realistic nonfiction. What does realistic nonfiction mean? It means that it may not be real, this exact story, but the things that happen and the people that were there could be realistic. For example, Hector could be realistic.
Isn't that realistic fiction?
Yes, that's what it is. Realistic fiction. If we make a movie like we are racing or that we are doing some kind of drama or whatever, that's realistic fiction. Why? Because we are real, the people that are doing this, but the story may not be real, what we are portraying, correct? This is why it's realistic fiction. Who can tell me one of the features? What do we look for when we are reading realistic fiction? Yes. The dialogue seems real. Awesome. What else, guys?
The plot is realistic.
The plot is realistic. What else? Yes.
The setting can actually happen. The setting is something. The setting is an actual, may be an actual setting in real life.
Exactly. Sorry. What else?
When they resolve the problem, it should seem realistic.
Exactly. It looks like people will solve the problem in real life the same way, right? So, let's recap this lesson. We learned about reading fluency, right? How we calculate it, how we find out how we are reading, right? The prosody, the fluency, how we pronounce the words, right? So we are going to keep trying this every week. We are going to read for reading fluency tracking, right? So we read each one of us and we mark it down. The more you read, the more, what? You get better, right? Very good. So what else did we do today? We talked about vocabulary, right? This is your homework from page 111. So you bring it tomorrow. You need to practice this vocabulary. And we learn about, who can tell me? Visualization is one of the strategies, right? Visualizing the story in your mind, having a mental picture, and what else? Realistic fiction, fiction features, very good. And author's point of view, and we talk about the difference between first person and second person, right? So thank you very much, guys. I will see you tomorrow. This lesson went excellent. Thank you.